The last couple of months were not easy for Team Xbox. For 1.5 years they have been distracted by the acquisition of Activision Blizzard King, and they were kinda stuck in a limbo while their biggest competitor Sony bought studios left and right. Well, and then the CMA actually blocked the deal, and for their core platform they have not released a major game within 18 months, and then the first game they brought for fans was Redfall, which obviously did not go as they hoped for. So with the upcoming Xbox Showcase 2023 and the adjacent Starfield Direct, the pressure on Team Xbox is on. Expectations for Starfield are through the roof, but also the pressure for the showcase is on an all-time high. And in this video we are going to discuss whether Xbox has actually the chance to meet the incredibly high expectation of fans, media and the gaming community. Hello gamers from around the world, this is Boxenberger, the video game enthusiast from Germany with my latest video, and I know it's been a while, but I wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who stuck around, because I intend to do those videos on a more regular basis again. So if you do end up enjoying this one, you know the favor you can do by hitting the like and subscribe button, and maybe even turn on the notification bell to not miss out on future content. Okay, thank you guys, I truly appreciate your support, and now let's talk about the pressure on Team Xbox to deliver with Starfield and the upcoming Xbox Showcase. So in less than 3 weeks, on June 11th, Xbox is gonna have their yearly showcase, and with the general mindshare in the community right now, the pressure is on an all-time high for Xbox to deliver. And I have been saying this for a while now, that Xbox has overhyped and underdelivered for so long, so now it's time for them to actually over-deliver for a while. And before you say this might be unfair or unrealistic, let's talk about the state of Xbox at this point in the generation. They started this gen with the mindshare of the community. They had the power narrative, they had the excitement around the games, because Xbox had quite a lot of studios. With the newly acquired ZeniMax Bethesda studios, they had 23 studios that all work on exciting projects, and they laid out a great roadmap for the years to come with exciting games like Fable, Hellblade 2, Avowed, Perfect Dark, State of Decay 3 and so on. While on the other side, Sony started this gen with misleading communication about cross-gen titles. They've started to increase game prices, and a little later down the road the console price itself, and with that the mindshare of the community was actually with Xbox. And before anyone brings up that it doesn't matter what Sony does because that's not their competitor anymore, stop it. They are. And I know that Xbox wants us to believe that they don't see PlayStation as their main competitor anymore, but I do disagree here very strongly, because let's be honest, cloud alone is not their market at the moment. It's not what makes them the money. So Amazon and Google and all those players are not their competitor, so we can't bring up this argument anymore. The biggest competitor that they have at this point in time is PlayStation, and that's good because we all want them to compete and fight for our wallets. So yeah, the biggest competitor that they have at this point in time is PlayStation, and so Team Xbox could have gained a lot of momentum at the start of this gen, but then the generation didn't start as they promised. In the first 10 months or so they didn't have any exclusive system selling games up until the release of Forza Horizon 5. They lost the power narrative because of the tools, you know the story, and then they launched the biggest IP, Halo, incomplete, and you all know how the narrative went. And then for the next 18 months they did not have any system selling games, because let's be real, as good as a Pentiment was, for some gamers that's not what drives system sales. So 2.5 years into the generation, it feels like Xbox has been distracted way too much by Activision Blizzard King. They have released 2 noteworthy games with Forza Horizon 5 and Halo Infinite. They do not have the general power narrative anymore, and their first new IP, their first next-gen only game Redfall, launched at 30 FPS with a lot of bugs and glitches, and all that aside, generally it was not received as a well-crafted game. So now of course the pressure is up. If we look at Starfield, which is probably the biggest new game release for Xbox ever because of the history of the studio, the makers of Elder Scrolls games like Skyrim and Fallout bring out brand new IP, which is now for the first time truly exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem. Yes, that is a big deal. I know there have been other big releases like Halo 3 or Gears, but besides that being almost 2 decades ago, the pressure on Starfield is simply high. And I'm not saying that it's all make or break for the entire brand, because the brand itself is generating a good amount of revenue for Microsoft at the moment. But the question really is, can Xbox gain back the mindshare, not just of Xbox core fans, but also of course of the gaming media, which historically have been biased way too much anyway. And of course, can they make themselves a name in the wider audience, the casual gamers? So of course, with all that being said, it kind of makes it sound like it's almost impossible for Starfield to meet the incredibly high expectations. I've seen people say, well, Xbox brought that on themselves because they have not delivered consistent quality, then I would argue the question really isn't if Starfield is a 10 out of 10 like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is for Nintendo, but is Starfield actually a really good game, and can they follow up with other quality releases on a regular basis? That is what will define the success of Xbox for the rest of this generation. And of course, there will be double standards when it comes to Starfield, because besides it being a brand new IP and it does not have the same nostalgia factor like the aforementioned Zelda for Nintendo or a pop culture IP like Spider-Man for PlayStation, after Xbox under-delivering for so long, it will be more challenging for Starfield to get better reviews than for other games and IPs. But if one team can deliver that, it is Bethesda Studios. Because let's be real, Todd Howard has not made a bad game, period. Phil Spencer said that the Xbox team went in there to support way earlier in the development cycle than they did with other games, and so Starfield is what Xbox fans have been waiting for. It's a new IP, it's a single player game, it's story driven, it's massive in scope, and it is all that Xbox lacked for a while now. But I also want to bring up the point of it not all being about Starfield, again, because the Xbox showcase is also around the corner and the pressure is on there too, because it's not just about Starfield, it is about finally delivering on the promise of consistent quality games. And with the Xbox Showcase 2023, Xbox really cannot afford anymore to have the just wait for next year's narrative. Xbox fans have been getting tired for saying that for years, so they have to give updates and reassure the fans that quality games are coming. They have to show that the Fables, the Avoweds, the Hellblades, the Perfect Darks are actually worth the wait. Now, how can they actually pull that off? I think the core thing is that a lot of console gamers have been feeling as the second-class customer in the Xbox ecosystem. While we all appreciate that we get to play our games not just on console, but of course on PC and in the cloud, the console gamer is what made the brand big. So Xbox has to find a way to actually show that they truly do care about the console gamer, and so it's natural that the one thing that a lot of fans have been asking for is to actually show games running on console hardware and not on PC. They can also gain a lot of mindshare by announcing that they have a quality game like a Hellblade or an Avowed or something else ready for this year, because Starfield and Forza, which are now both coming in the second half of 23, were supposed to come out end of last year or early this year, so they have to show the fans that they actually had something else for them planned for this year, because again, it's about delivering consistency, and Starfield alone won't show consistency. But to come to my conclusion, it is not all doom and gloom, but it is also not easy peasy for Microsoft. It's not that hyperbolic discussion on social medias where if they don't nail this showcase, Microsoft has to sell the Xbox brand, but there is a general pressure on the brand because Xbox seems to lose the trust and mindshare of their core community. So it might be time to rethink some general strategic things that Xbox has been doing by putting the focus on PC and cloud, by not having marketing, by not having pop culture IPs in their game roster, and so on. But Xbox has everything that could excite the gaming community. They have great games coming like a Hellblade 2, Perfect Dark, Indiana Jones, Contraband or Fable, but they have to kinda step up and take the lead when it comes to communication and not leave it up to the studios to decide when to announce games. They have to start steering the narratives by being more aggressive, more upfront and more consistent. They have everything they need with great studios that could surprise us with new announcements of, for instance, a reboot of Quake or Wolfenstein 3, but they have to find the spirit to want us to blow away and not hold back. So let's see where the narrative will go after the Xbox showcase and the Starfield presentation, but in general, Xbox has the potential to still show that they have the most powerful console, that they have the most exciting games lineup with dozens of announced and unannounced games that should come out in a regular cadence, and they still have a great relationship to their community. So with all the pressure on the brand, they have the potential to deliver, but I definitely do want to hear from you what you think Xbox needs to do to meet the very high expectations of fans. So leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And besides that, by the way, we have a big live prediction show the day before the Xbox showcase on June 10th at 2 PM Eastern, 7 PM UK time or 8 PM Central Europe, with around 15 different creators from the Xbox community to discuss our expectations for the Xbox showcase. And of course, we're going to have a post show right after the Xbox and Starfield show to discuss everything that happened at the Xbox showcase. But for now, now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button as well as the notification bell, because we will monitor closely how Xbox will turn out this gen. And besides, here on YouTube you can also hit me up on Twitter, where I share a lot of opinions and gaming discussions. But for now, thank you very much for watching, I see you the next time, and game on!